Hi y'all, it's Charlene from the Crafty Art Shack, and today we're going to be taking these, which are just regular Christmas tree balls, and we are going to be turning them into a beautiful Christmas tree ornament, or a ornament that you can hang on displays or that you sit on your tables. So let's get to the craft desk and get started. Let's go. All right, y'all, we're here at the craft desk, and what we're going to do is we have one glitter and one solid color, and we wiped them down and cleaned them with the baby wipe first of all to start out with. Now that cord you see laying there, that goes to my soldering gun, and what I'm trying to do is figure out what works best to, let's see that line on the side. I want to make sure that it's not in the front because I don't want it going right through my circle. And what I do is just kind of eyeball and put an X on the ball. The reason why I'm putting an X there is, you see my pinky finger I just put down? I'm going to put it down. Now this is going to be kind of hard to see on camera because this marker was black. But in a few minutes you'll see me change it. But I've got my pinky finger and I'm holding it down in the same spot, and I'm holding down the Sharpie marker in the same spot, and I'm just spinning the ball. I'm not moving my hand at all. I'm just spinning the ball, and that gives me that circle around there. And it's kind of hard to see, but I'm going to look and see if I can't find something else that shows up better. I'm actually looking for my silver Sharpie so y'all can see it, but I couldn't find it. So, and I'm looking to make sure my circle is going to be big enough for my little wooden disc that I'm going to use in it. Now, I think here's where, no, I got to get a pair of pliers out because this one's got a little Christmas hook on it, and that's just driving me nuts, so I got to take it off of there. And I'm going to take it and put it to the side. Well, actually I threw it away. Now I'm looking at this one to see if it has that line going across it. Because it's got the glitter on it, we don't see it. So you're okay wherever you draw your X at, because X marks the spot. Yes, it does. Okay, and what I'm looking for now is that silver Sharpie again. But I guess I'm not finding it. So I got this chalk pencil from the Dollar Tree. And this time you're going to be able to see what I'm doing really good. So I take and put an X on it straight from the top. And now see my pinky finger going down? And then I'm placing that down. Now I'm not moving that hand that's holding the chalk marker. I'm just spinning with my other hand until I get back around. And if it don't quite line up, it's okay. Now see, my X is not quite in the center of that, but that's okay because it's still going to turn out to be in the right place because it just does for some reason. But I'm going to go, what I'm showing you is I'm going to take this is actually a soldering iron, and I put a angled tip on it, and I'm just going to go around the outside of that white mark because I don't want that white mark left on the ball. So I'm going to go around the outside of it, and the first time I go around, I'm not pressing really deep because I'm just kind of marking out where I'm going to be. And then what you see me do is I'll go in and make another cut, and that one I will go all the way through. And you guys, when I do this the second time around, the first time around kind of gives me a guide as to where I want to cut at. The second time, I'm pushing it all the way through the ball. And you guys, this cut's really good. I saw somebody do this. I think it was Kathy Joe's DIY. She was using a clear ball. And because she used a clear ball, she had a problem with the stuff in the bottom of her clear ball showing through where she had all the hot glue and everything. So I chose the red balls instead of the clear balls for two reasons. One, the red ones are already black on the inside, or these were that I had. And so that kind of gave me that black background in the back. And then what I did is I took and yeah, I did something. You guys, I'm sorry, I forget what I'm doing because I get busy paying attention to the what I'm doing on this on the project, and I forget to tell y'all. For some reason, I'm pointing out. Oh, I guess I'm showing you that's where it ends. But you guys, this just pops out really easy after you get it cut. And I'll cut both of these balls just like this. You guys, this only takes a few seconds to do just like this. And it's going to cut a wide line, so I wasn't too worried about that. Sorry for that noise. That was my computer doing something funny. I don't know what it was doing. But anyway, okay, so you want to set your soldering iron down where it's not going to touch anything because that sucker is hot. You see it over there smoking? I was worried about my fire alarms going off or my smoke detector going off, but I laid it where it wouldn't touch my mat because that's really hot. Okay, and I just popped that piece out, and then you'll see the edges of it. Oh, I'm doing something else here. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I'm looking to see what it looks like with that other piece because I I think I need to use that for something. Okay, you guys, you want to be really careful with this soldering iron. That tip is hot and that plastic's hot. Look at how hot that is getting. It shows up, it shows the smoke. So I took it and I had to put it to the side where it wasn't going to touch anything or accidentally lay something on it. Y'all want to be really careful with that. But this turned out to work really good. Wasn't sure if it was going to work, but it did. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little razor blade knife. And guys, you really, didn't realize how easy this was going to come off. But I really didn't need that little razor blade knife to clean that up. Because you see, I just reached in there and just popped all of that off of there, off of that edge. And it makes such a smooth edge. And if yours ends up not being smooth, you could take your little soldering iron and go back around it again because it does end up being smooth. Now, this one I needed to trim up a little bit more, and I think it's because it had that glitter on it. But when I did another ball out of the solid just pops right off of there. But that little razor knife works just great for this project. You can just take any kind of tool. You could even take a sanding block and sand it if you want to. I'm sure that would work. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that chalk marker, and you guys, that's what you should use instead of the Sharpie because it works really good and you can see it. And I'm drawing a little circle there. Now I'm trying to line it up with the front and with that top piece, and what I'm doing is I'm going to take my soldering iron and I'm going to cut around the outside of that. Now this little hole is so that when I stick it on the Christmas tree, I can stick a little light right through that hole that's on my Christmas tree strand wherever I put it on the tree at, and that'll light up the inside of this ornament. You guys, these turned out really cute. Oh, I can't wait for you to get to the end and see them. Okay, then you're going to take, and I'm going to put these little wooden pieces, I don't know what they're called, but see, it wants to flop around in there. So I'm trying to figure out how I want it to sit inside there, because what I'm going to do is use that as my little platform, but I want it perpendicular to the top of that Christmas ornament. And there I go, sticking that other piece back in there thinking I'm going to use it, but I don't. I use the wooden piece. And I decided to put glue on my wooden piece and stick it in there. But when you see me stick it in there, it really didn't stick to nothing because it was just up there. So it did stick to the front of it. So what I did is once I got it stuck perpendicular to that When I say perpendicular, you need a 90-degree angle from that platform up to that little thing. If you don't know what that is, you just want to make sure it's straight with the top of your Christmas ball, because you don't want your scene sitting sideways inside there. Okay, so I'm going to hold it for a few seconds, and I did add some more hot glue to it, and I used the little piece that I cut out to sit it in to make sure it sits straight. So when I got to the second one, I'm making sure it's lined up. I'm going to line it up where I want it, and I'm putting glue on it, but you don't see me doing it. And then I'm going to stick it down in there, and I'm going to attach it. Okay, you guys, the next thing you're going to do after you get this glued in, you want to make sure you have plenty of glue down at the bottom, and that's what I'm showing you here. So I'm showing you what I'm putting in, and I'm getting me 2 little trees, 2 little greenery pieces. You need 2 packs of this. Yeah, I'm going so fast I can't even say it all. Anyway, you need some greenery, some bits and bops, some jute twine. And what I'm doing is I'm putting this jute twine, and those are 2 little village pieces, scenery pieces from Dollar Tree. And I'm putting this jute twine on the bottom. I'm starting it at the bottom and going all the way around the edge. Now, I did use glitter glue in my glue stick from the Dollar Tree for this section, because I wanted it, if it showed, I wanted it to look like it was supposed to be that way. And I just tucked those pieces down. Now I'm going to take a piece of this Bits and Bop greenery, and I'm going to stick it all the way to the back. And you guys, if you use a pair of needle nose pliers, it's really easy to reach. And I'm trying to show you what it's going to look like with the light in there. Now my Christmas tree is too tall. Okay, so my Christmas tree is too tall, so I'm twisting the end of it off, but save that piece, because we're going to cut the tip of this tree down so that my tree fits in there. And that's how much I cut off. And then I'm going to take it and stick it back in there and twist it on. Little truck, I just glued it in. I'm sorry if my camera cut out on me. Now I put some glitter glue down on the inside of the tree and sprinkled that Dollar Tree glitter in there. Now what I'm doing here is taking apart a little pick that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to glue that down, and I'm going to glue this little leaf down, because actually I'm not. I'm going to go grab a little leaf, a smaller leaf from another Dollar Tree Bits and Bop stuff I got, and then I'm going to take and glue some berries up there. Now that little red ribbon that I tied to the top of that came from the ornaments when I bought them. They had them on them. So I'm going to glue my little Christmas tree. You guys, this is flying by. Hold on. Ooh, lordy, that was going so fast I couldn't even talk. Okay, so this one I'm going to put my Christmas tree in the front. I got another little Christmas tree that came with a kit, and I'm going to glue it in. And then the little mailbox and the little mailman is going in there. And I'm just glue all of those down to the ornament. And I decided to put the stuff in this time before I decorated the outside. So I'm putting my glitter glue down, and I'm going to sprinkle some of my snow in there, because it's not Christmas unless you have snow. And then, let me see. Okay, now I'm going to do the jute twine around it. You guys, that little red truck and the other one goes in basically the same. So you just glue it down like I glued these little figurines down. I missed that on the other one, and I do apologize. My camera cut out on me, and sometimes I don't realize it does it before I get busy doing something else. And that is the glitter glue going around the edge of that, and I'm just putting it down all the way around. Okay, now I'm going to take 2 of those small holly leaves from my Dollar Tree pick that I have, the Bits and Bops left over, and I'm going to glue that down right at the front of the block. And then I was going to put a pine cone on, decide not to, and then them berries too big, so I'm going to go find me some small berries again. And I'm going to glue those berries down to it. And you got to hold it for a few seconds, because this hot glue, if you put too much of it on, you have to work with it. So now I'm going to try a jute rope. I put the jute rope on there and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking this needs something else. So I'm going to take these larger berries. They were curved just perfect. So I curved them right over the top of that ball, Christmas ball, and I think this turned out just too cute. Now I keep looking at it and I think that jute rope that's up at the top is just a little bit on the skinny side. Oh, I gotta glue the edges of these down because I didn't have it all the way glued down. I thought I did. Okay, so I'm looking at it and I'm thinking that little bitty jute rope that's holding that just don't look right. So I'm going to go in there. Oh, you guys see me playing with my phone. That's because I'm trying to get that light lined up so you can see how that lights it up in there when you put the Christmas tree light in. Oh, that's just going to be so beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But I looked at that rope again and I'm like, oh, this thing's so skinny. I don't like nothing skinny. I like it to be nice and hardy. Yeah, something. I don't know what it's called. But I didn't think that jute rope was the right thing for it. So I took in, put me on a thicker piece. And here we go. These are all finished and they are too cute. Hold on just a second and I'll get you some close-up pictures. Alright, you guys, we're back from the craft desk where we made these two cute little ornaments. I just think these are adorable. I sure do. And don't forget, we left those little holes right here in the back of it. Here's a good picture of it where you can see where we left a place to put one of the light strands to go through there. And you guys, I think these just turned out adorable. You guys, that'll do it for this episode of the Crafty Art Shack. We hope you like and subscribe. Visit us on our Facebook. It's called Crafty Art Shack. We're also on TikTok. And we're also on, I'm trying to think of all the places we're at. We're on Instagram and TikTok as well. I'm still learning how to use those other platforms, but we do have a presence on Facebook, and we also have our own website. It's called craftyartshack.com. Y'all go visit us. We'd enjoy seeing you there. And you guys, we'll look forward to seeing you in our next video. That's all. We'll see you later. Bye.
Go over the doors and messed it up display. So I paused. You guys, I think these just turned out adorable. And I always get to this point and forget what to do. These turned out adorable. They look cute on anybody's manual. It's not a manual, it's a mantle. Let me start this over. Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and Twitter. That's the other one. And you guys, we also have our own Facebook page where we show some of our favorite tools that we use. And check us out. It's called craftyartshack.com. You guys, will look forward to seeing you again here at the Crafty Art Shack. We'll talk to you later. Bye.